everyone, and welcome to Nanny Cooks from the Ozark. Well, fall is in the air, and it's the end of garden season too. So I've got a recipe for you today where we can use up a lot of items in the garden that otherwise would go to waste. Now, if you don't have a garden, you can get these items at farmer's market or even at the grocery store. So what we're making today is called Chow-Chow. This is just chopping up real fine a lot of vegetables, and it is crisp and tasty. Now, some people call this piccalilli. So what's the difference in chow-chow and piccalilli? Well, I'm glad you asked. Uh, we, in my side of the family, always called it chow-chow. My husband's side of the family always called it piccalilli. And the main differences are very little. Chow-chow is more of a southern recipe and is sweeter, where piccalilli uses fresh vegetables, but they also use corn and cauliflower and green beans that is not used in chow-chow. So that's your lesson for today. So let's go over here and see how we make this. Like I said, we just chop up a lot of these vegetables. We chop them very fine. Then we put them in a salt brine, and basically that's just sprinkling salt over them and letting it set for several hours. Then we rinse them good and put it in a big pot and boil it for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then we put them in canning safe jars and we do a water bath. We don't have to pressure cooker this because um, a lot of these vegetables have acid in them, which helps to preserve them. So after you get these all in the jars and you put them in the water bath and then you've let them cool, you can store them, and it takes about 3 weeks for the flavor to really come out in these. So another story about the Chow-Chow in our family. My husband's brother, Mike, battled cancer for several years, and he finally lost his battle with cancer a couple of years ago. And he loved Chow-Chow, and that was the only thing that he ever asked me to make for him. But every fall he would ask me to make a batch of Chow-Chow, and he would really enjoy that, either on beans or on hot dogs, or just put it on meats, or you can put it in a salad, or you can even use it as a salad all by itself. So that takes care of our item for today. And now, like I told you last time, I'm going to start giving a cooking hint at the end of every one of my videos. And today our cooking hint goes along with canning. So when you are canning, you want to be very sanitary. You want to use good products too, like you want to use canning jars, and the brand of Ball or Mason have been around forever. You want to make sure your jars don't have any chips in the top of them, and you want to use the right kind of canning equipment, because some things you can use a hot water bath for canning, and other things you want to use a pressure cooker. And there's a lot of information out there on the web, or you can buy cooking books to help you with this. So the last thing I want to show you today in regards to canning, you will need this is called a jar flat, and this is called a jar ring. And this goes on first, and then you put the ring on top. Now, one thing they have changed in the last few years, we used to store these with the ring left on it after the item that you were canning seals. And you'll always know when it seals because you'll hear a pop sound. And my husband and I, after canning, we love to sit in the living room and listen to all of those jars seal. But once they seal, now they're recommending that you take the ring off and not store them with the ring on there. And why is that? Because it can present a false seal. You may think it has seal because you got that jar ring on it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it seals. So now they're recommending that you take the ring off. Another thing is they recommend you only use these flats one time. Now, I have a friend that she reuses her flats over and over again, and she hasn't poisoned anybody yet. But for me, I just like to use them one time and then throw them away. So that's our little recipe on making chow chow, and I will post this recipe online, and I would really appreciate it if you would like our site and share and subscribe it. We're on Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube. So we hope you have a great day. Bye bye.